Yeah. So let me continue with this presentation that I started yesterday. Yeah. So I tried to define the different manufacturing in yesterday's class. Now, yeah, we did up to here, and we have seen how technologically as well as the economically the manufacturing can be defined. Okay. Now, this manufacturing is very important to our lives. Okay, because uh, it caters for our different needs to live for day-to-day life uh, as well as daily need. It caters for that only. Okay. Uh, so to make to manufacture something, where do you manufacture? So we manufacture the thing in industries, right? Now the industry, there are different types of industries, right? When we talk about the manufacturing industries, these manufacturing industries is being divided into three categories. You can divide the manufacturing industries into three categories. One is primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now we'll try to understand what are these. What is the primary manufacturing? What is the secondary manufacturing? What is the tertiary manufacturing industries? Okay. To start with, the primary industries are those that cultivate or exploit natural resources. So primary industries, they deal with the natural resources, right? So examples are agriculture, mining, people. So the industries which involve in exploiting, right, or cultivating the natural resources, they comes under the primary industry. And what are the secondary industries? These are those that take the output of the primary industries and convert them into consumer and capital goods. So the secondary industries, they take the output of the primary industries and then convert them into consumer and capital goods. So these are the secondary industries. Okay. Then the tertiary industries, it constitutes the service sector of the economy. So you can see here primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now, secondary is dependent on primary industries, and the tertiary industries depend on secondary industries. Okay. And what are these manufactured products are? These are the final products by industries like aerospace, maybe automotive, maybe base metals, maybe computer, electronics, glass, ceramics, right? And these goods, the manufactured goods, they are divided into two major classes. Manufactured product is divided into two major classes. Number one is consumer good, and the second one is capital good. Consumer good, they are the product purchased directly by consumers, such as, example, cars, PCs, TVs, etc. These are the consumer good. And the capital, what is the capital good? Product purchased by other companies to produce goods and supply services. So these are capital goods. These are the products purchased by some other companies to, and then they produce goods and supply services. Examples are aircraft, mainframe computers, railroad equipment, machine tools, construction equipment, etc. So these are the products which the companies they buy, and then they produce the goods. Or you can say simply, if you compare with the earlier one, these companies they purchase the capital goods and then produce the consumer goods. And those are the products which transform the purchased product or purchased capital goods, and they convert them to the required consumer good or service, supply service, whatever that is. So consumer goods are the products purchased directly by the consumers, and capital goods, the products are not directly purchased by the consumers, but these are purchased by the companies to produce products for the consumers. Okay. A manufacturing plant consists of processes and systems designed to transform certain limited range of materials into products of increased value. So this manufacturing plant, they process and produce some material which has got some higher values. That we have seen while we were defining the manufacturing, right? Now this modern manufacturing, so-called, we can say that it consists of three main blocks. What are they? Material, then the processes, and our system. So modern manufacturing consists of three main blocks: material, processes, and systems. And the manufacturing capability is defined as the technical and physical limitations of a manufacturing firm and each of its plants. That's the capability of manufacturing capability. Okay. And how we can define this capability? This we can do by technological processing capability, physical product limitation, and production capability. So this gives us the manufacturing capability of a of an unit. Of a unit. So first one is, as you can see here, manufacturing consists of three main blocks. First one is the material. So most engineering material can be classified into one of the three basic categories. Three basic categories. These are the I'm talking about the engineering material. So most engineering material can be classified into one of the three basic categories. Number one is metals, number two, ceramics, and number three, polymer. Okay. And all these three have got different chemistries, and their mechanical and physical properties are all different. Okay. And these differences affect the manufacturing process that can be used to produce product from them. So you want to produce gear, small gear. You can produce it from a metal, or also you can produce it from a ceramic or from material also. So in that case, what happens? If you want to produce it from metal, you need a different set of different types of machines. And if you try to manufacture the same from other, like ceramics or polymer, you need a different process. So that is why we say that these differences. Why these are differences? Because these main categories, they have different chemistries and their mechanical and physical properties are also different. That is why these, yeah, the differences affect the manufacturing. You have to choose a suitable manufacturing process depending on the type of metal that you are, not metal, type of material that you are going to use. And there is another, in addition to this, one, two, three, there is another one, which is known as composites. What happens here? Non-homogeneous mixture of other three basic types rather than a unique. So what is this composite material? This is a mixture of the other three basic types. It's a mixture of, maybe it's a mixture of metal and ceramic, it can be a mixture of metal and polymer. So it is like that. So those are being termed as composites. So engineering material basic categories are metal, ceramic, and polymer. And all these three basic categories, they have got different chemistry, and their mechanical and physical properties are actually similar. Okay, and for that purpose, we need a different manufacturing processes for depending on this type of material. And also, in addition to these three, you have another type of material also, which is called composite material, which is nothing but a mixture or rather a non-homogeneous, non-homogeneous mixture of the three basic types of material. Okay. Now, this relationship has been explained with the help of this diagram. You see here, this is the metal, this is ceramic, and this is polymer. Three basic types of material, and then they are overlapping each other. So these are all these composites. As you can see here, here metal is mixed with polymer ceramics, right? Here ceramic is mixed with metal and polymer. Polymer mixed with metal and ceramic. These are composites. These are composites. So as you can see here, metal ceramic composites, metal polymer composites here, ceramic polymer composites here. Okay. And well, this diagram is known as Venn diagram of the basic material type plus composites. Okay. Okay. Now, go back. Yeah. So manufacturing consists of three main blocks. First one is material, second one is processes, and third one is system. Now we have discussed in brief about the material. Next we will be discussing about the processes. Because once you have the material, now what is required is the process. Right? So this manufacturing process can be divided into two basic types. Number one is processing operations, and the second one is assembly operations. What is this processing operations? Here, whatever the work material or the raw material is being transformed from one stage of completion to a more advanced stage closer to the final desired product. So, say your product is, you have to produce a product called A. And for that purpose, you have chosen a material B. Now, in the processing operation, what will you do? Now you will try to make item A from item B. Okay. And to make it, you need some processes. For example, say you have a iron rod, and you have to make a shaft out of it. The diameter of that iron bar, or MS bar you can say, mine steel bar, is about 40 millimeter diameter. Now the shaft that you want, it is about 55 millimeter diameter. So what is required? You have, as a raw material, you have the 40 millimeter MS bar. And what is the final product? It is a 30 shaft. The shaft with diameter is 30 mm. How you can achieve? You need some process by which you can do this. And this you can do how? You can have a lathe, and by that, and in that particular machine, you can remove the material from the raw material, which is about 40 millimeter diameter, and you can remove the material to get a 40 millimeter. So this is what is required. You have something and your aim is something different, your goal is something different. So to reach that particular goal, you need some work. You need some work. So these are the processing operations. So you can say the processing operation transform a work material from one state of completion to a more advanced state closer to the final desired. And in the process, what it is being, what it is doing, it adds value by changing geometry, property, appearance of the starting. In different stages, it goes on adding value to that particular subject. Okay. So this is what is processing operation. Okay. So this is one way you can make. This is one way you can produce something, or you can manufacture something. Okay. Now there is another one. We call it assembly operation. So here what is happening? Here in assembly operation, different components are there. Using those different components, we assemble them and get our desired product. So definitely you will have to join. Here, what is the operation that we are doing? We are joining them, joining different components to form a final product. So assembly operations join two or more components in order to create a new entity called an assembly or sub-assembly. So these are the two types of processes normally you find in manufacturing process. One is processing operation and the other is assembly operation. Again, processing operation use energy to alter a work part's shape, physical property, or appearance in order to add value to the material. So, processing operations, here you require energy. Why you require the energy? You require that energy to change the shape, physical properties, appearance of the raw material. And in the process, you are adding value to it. Value to the material that you are using. Okay. So again here, three categories of processing operations you can consider. Number one is shaping operation. Shaping operation. Second one is property enhancing operation. And third one is surface processing operation. So what is the shaping operations? To give the desired shape to the material. It gives the desired shape to the material. This is shaping operation. And property enhancing operation, we try to increase the properties, means physical properties, physical properties. And how we do this? There are again different methods, like heat treatment, whereby the strength of that particular product is being improved. So first thing is shaping operation. We give the shape to the material, and then we have the property enhancing operation, which adds value to the material by improving the physical properties without changing its shape. Shape remains shape, but the properties change. Other property is improved. Third one is surface processing operation. What is the surface processing operations? These are those operations by which you give the aesthetic value, or you contribute aesthetic value to your product so that you can add more value to your product. This is surface processing operation. How you can do that? There are different methods again, like cleaning, treating with the coat, deposit material onto the exterior surface, like that. I think all of you know what electroplating is all about, and the painting is all about. So this is again a type of operations, and we call them surface processing. Okay. Now you have. I was talking about making a shaft out of a MS pipe, right? Now, for changing the diameter of that particular bar from 40 to 30 by removing the material, that is what is shaping operation. We are giving a shape to the raw material. And then what we do to increase the strength of that particular shaft, we give it some heat treatment. Normally, what is heat treatment? We heat the component and then we cool it in different mediums. Thereby, it gains the it improves the physical property of the particular shaft. So first, I have made the shaft, and then to improve its physical properties, I've given some heat treatment to it, which is nothing but the property enhancing operation. And then after that, just to prevent it from rusting, I have just given a coat of paint onto that particular shaft. This is what is surface processing operation. You understand? So these are the processes. These are the manufacturing processes. And you'll find different types of shaping operation. You'll find different types of property enhancing operation. And also you'll find different types of surface processing operation. Now, a little bit more about this. So shaping process. What do we do here? We change the geometry of the work material. And how we do it? Either by application of heat or mechanical force or a combination of both. Again, we can classify this shaping process into four categories. Into four categories. First one is solidification process. What is the solidification process? The starting material is heated to a liquid state or semi-fluid state, and then then it is being cooled and solidified to form a different form a part of to form the part of gel. What do you do here in solidification process? We hit the material to its liquid or semi-fluid state, and then we allow it to cool down and solidify to form a product. This is solidification process. Second one is particulate processing. The starting material is powder, and the powders are formed and heated into a desired shape. First one is what? The material is heated to a liquid and semi-fluid state, and in this particular processing, the starting material is powder. We don't heat it, and these powders are then heated into to form a desired gel. You'll see we will discuss all these things in detail later on. So first one is solidification process. Second one is particulate processing, which is also known as powder metallurgy. And the third one is deformation process. What we do here, we apply some force to deform the material. To deform the material. So this is deformation process. But for this, the material has to be ductile, not brittle. Okay. So this is about deformation process. Then material removal process. Well, here the desired shape is being obtained by removing material from the original or the raw material. Just as I mentioned about making a shaft of 30 millimeter diameter from an MS bar of 40. Okay, so these are again different types of processes by which you can give shape to a given material. Okay. Okay. So solidification process, as I told you, somewhat like this. As you can see here, let me show you what that is. See. You see here, we'll discuss this thing in detail, just to show you now. You see, something is there, a mold is there, sun mold is there, and there is a cavity here, and there is the molten metal is heated to a molten state, and then this is being poured here, the fill this cavity, and then when it solidifies, you break the sand, and you will get this piece. So this is what we call solidification process. And then the particulate, you see here, you have a powder here, then this powder gives a particular shape. You apply force from both sides, and you compress it, and then it forms a part like that. Okay. There are different processes in between, but basically this powder, after applying force, maybe a little bit of heat also, then we get this particular component from this powder. Okay. Yeah, we will, yeah, fine. And the deformation process, again, you see here, a material is there is a punch to die and punch, in between it is there, so it is taking the shape of the die and punch. Again, here you can see here you have this one, this side, this is the material, and then you have the ram, so you apply force, then through this aperture, this material is being extruded, just like a toothpaste, as we do. So this is the material is being deformed. The material is being deformed. Okay. And the last one was material removal process. So very simple. So this is the total work. This was the raw material, and then we have removed this material. This you can do. You can use a lathe for this. Also, when we drill a hole into a work part, then the hole, the material is being removed with the help of this tool. And there are certain other drilling patterns also. So this is what is material removal. So these are the four basic types of shaping processes. Okay. Okay, end here for today. We'll continue with this in the next class also. Okay. Please put on your videos, please. Yeah, Adarsh and Anmol, I don't see your face. Adarsh and Anmol, Adarsh is there. What about Anmol? I don't know whether he is here or not. Okay. Well, thank you very much. So I end the class today. And I think you have next class, a biology class. That class will not be held today. Yeah, that will not be held today. So let me end the class today. Thank you very much. See you in the next class again.